Okay, so imagine this for a moment. Imagine surviving the vacuum of space, only to die because of a valve the size of a coin. These are not theories, they are not exaggerations. They are the most disturbing deaths ever recorded in the history of space exploration. And all of them revealed the same unsettling truth. Space doesn't need massive mistakes to kill you. From the very beginning of the space race, humans have risked their lives to push beyond Earth's limits. Pilots, engineers, and astronauts trained to survive the most extreme conditions imaginable, and still, many of them never made it. Some died before reaching space, others died in flight, and a few died in the void itself. Number 10. Theodore Freeman. Theodore Freeman was one of NASA's most promising astronauts. He had passed one of the most brutal selection processes on Earth, designed to identify the best military pilots in existence. He was trained to endure extreme forces, catastrophic failures, and the lethal environment of space. He died in 1964 during a routine training flight, not because of a complex malfunction, not because of human error, because of a goose. As he approached the runway, the bird struck the windshield of his T-38 jet. The impact didn't kill him instantly. The glass shattered, debris was sucked into the engine, and within seconds the engine failed completely. Freeman attempted emergency procedures, but he didn't have enough altitude. The aircraft hit the ground at high speed. The irony is brutal. He survived tests designed to simulate death in space, but was defeated by a migratory path that existed millions of years before human flight. After his death, NASA reinforced windshields and altered flight routes. Freeman never reached space. Number 9. Elliot C. and Charles Bassett. In 1966, Elliot C. and Charles Bassett were the primary crew for Gemini 9. They were flying to St. Louis to train in their spacecraft simulator. The weather was terrible: heavy rain, dense fog, almost no visibility. During the approach, the pilot lost visual reference. The left wing of the jet struck a building, and the aircraft disintegrated instantly. That building housed the Gemini 9 spacecraft. Their capsule, the vehicle meant to take them into orbit, was less than 30 meters from the impact site. They died within sight of their destiny. Of all the cities, of all the buildings, they struck the one that contained their future. The technical cause was clear. The coincidence was impossible to ignore. Number 8. Grigori Nelyubov. Grigori Nelyubov was one of the first Soviet cosmonauts selected in 1960, charismatic, intelligent, and seriously considered to become either the first human in space or the first to perform a spacewalk. His career ended over a minor altercation with military security at a train station. He and 2 other cosmonauts were asked to apologize. The others did. Nelyubov refused. He was expelled from the program. His name vanished from official records. His image was removed from photographs. In the Soviet Union, he effectively ceased to exist. As his former colleagues made history, Nelyubov fell into alcoholism and depression. In 1966, he stepped in front of a train. He died the way he had lived for years, unseen. Number 7. Michael Adams. The X-15 wasn't a plane. It was an extreme experiment, a machine built to reach hypersonic speeds and the very edge of space. Michael Adams was an experienced pilot on his 7th mission. He reached over 80 kilometers in altitude, officially crossing the boundary of space by U.S. standards. During descent, an electrical failure sent the craft into an uncontrolled spin at Mach 5. Lateral forces exceeded 15 Gs. Adams became disoriented. When he finally regained control, it was too late. The X-15 broke apart in the atmosphere. He died between sky and space, not in orbit, not in an aircraft, in a boundary where physics doesn't forgive. Number 6. Valentin Bondarenko. In 1961, Valentin Bondarenko was participating in an isolation experiment inside a pressurized chamber filled with pure oxygen. It was considered routine. While removing sensors from his skin, he used alcohol-soaked cotton to clean himself. He dropped the cotton onto a hot plate. In normal air, it would have been nothing. In pure oxygen, it became an explosion. His suit ignited instantly. The pressure difference made it impossible to open the chamber quickly. Rescuers could only watch. Bondarenko died hours later with severe burns across most of his body. The Soviet Union concealed the incident for decades. NASA never knew about it before the Apollo 1 fire. Number 5. Vladimir Komarov. In 1967, the Soyuz 1 spacecraft was riddled with defects. Engineers documented more than 200 of them. The launch was approved anyway, for political reasons. Komarov knew the mission was dangerous. He flew anyway. One solar panel failed to deploy, power dropped, orientation systems malfunctioned. After multiple failed stabilization attempts, an emergency return was ordered. During descent, the parachutes failed. The capsule struck the ground at 600 kilometers per hour. He didn't die because of space. He died because of a decision made on Earth. Number 4. Apollo 1. In 1967, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee were conducting a ground test. The rocket had no fuel. It wasn't supposed to be dangerous. The capsule was pressurized with pure oxygen. A spark, likely from damaged wiring, ignited a fire. Within seconds, the interior became an oven. The hatch opened inward, pressure sealed it shut. For a few seconds, technicians heard frantic radio transmissions. Then silence. They died without ever launching. But their deaths forced a complete redesign of the Apollo program. The moon was reached because this never happened again. Number 3. Columbia. In 2003, a piece of insulating foam struck the shuttle's wing during launch. The impact was seen. The risk was downplayed. During re-entry, superheated plasma entered a breach in the left wing. Sensors failed. Hydraulic systems collapsed. The shuttle lost control. The astronauts followed procedures until the end. Columbia disintegrated over Texas. The cause wasn't just foam. It was a culture that had learned to live with risk. Number 2. Challenger. In 1986, Challenger launched on an unusually cold morning. Rubber O-rings meant to seal the boosters failed due to low temperatures. 73 seconds after liftoff, the shuttle broke apart in front of millions. The crew cabin remained intact for several moments. Emergency oxygen systems were activated, indicating partial consciousness after the initial breakup. They did not survive the impact with the ocean. Number 1. Soyuz 11. In 1971, 3 cosmonauts were returning from the world's first space station after a historic mission. The landing was flawless. When recovery teams opened the capsule, they found all 3 dead in their seats. A valve just 12 millimeters wide had opened in space. The cabin depressurized completely in under 2 minutes. They weren't wearing pressure suits. They tried to close the valve. There wasn't enough time. They remain the only humans to have officially died in the vacuum of space. The spacecraft worked perfectly, returning lifeless bodies to Earth. Space is not cruel. It is not hostile. It is indifferent. It doesn't kill with spectacular explosions. It kills through invisible details. And yet we keep going back, because every death left a lesson, and every lesson pushed us a little farther. The question is, what small mistake is waiting right now in silence? And remember, the universe doesn't reveal its secrets to those who rush. It reveals them to those who know how to look. Subscribe and keep listening to the silence.